Okay. Read that. Pause. Correct answer is E, into the board. Right hand rule, thumb going right around the wire, going underneath. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put a secondary wire at this location with current going through it. And I want to know, what is the force that wire 2 experiences because it's in the magnetic field created by wire 1. Have a conversation. Okay, just so we're all yet, like the last question, you said it's going into the page. Yes, this is created by wire 1. It's magnetic field that wire 1 created. Which way is wire 2 going to be forced because it's in that magnetic field that's created by wire 1? So which right hand rule do you need? You're exerting a force, so you need to keep your palm flat. Okay, you're using second right hand rule. Stick your fingers in the direction of magnetic field. So this is an external field. Okay, stick your thumb in the direction of current. And because of Ben Franklin, we assume that current is positively charged particles flowing, being forced up. B. See how we walk through that one? Okay. So are you good with this? Going into the board. Okay. So that creates the blue. Then we stick another wire in that magnetic field, in the blue's magnetic field. Okay. This is an external magnetic field. You have current flowing through a magnetic field. It's going to experience a force. That's foundational fact number 2. Okay. Yeah. Current flowing through this wire in an external magnetic field. Stick our fingers in the direction of magnetic field, thumb in direction of this current being forced up. Good? Okay, I want you to go through that same procedure now, but from wire 2's point of view. I want to know which way wire 1 is going to be forced because it's in the magnetic field of wire 2. Tell your neighbor.
Put fingers into your thumb. Which?
Yeah.
From like the last question, does the ground actually have its own like
It does, but we don't. We're not looking at it until this question. Does that make sense? So it totally does. What?
We're not looking at number 1s right now, we're just at number 2.
We're looking at the magnetic field that 2 created, that 1 finds itself in. Correct answer is? Correct answer is A. This one, 2 is creating its own magnetic field coming out of the page. 1 finds itself in that magnetic field, force down. Good? You can try it out on the homework tonight. Got one of those. All right. Okay, remember how we talked about motors and generators are the same device, just opposite functionality? All right, Aiden? Yeah. Okay. So we can have a similar conversation between microphones and speakers. Okay, so microphone, this is one design. You have a magnet, creates a magnetic field in between this gap here. And then in that gap, we have a coil of wire. As you speak into it, it's going to make that the vibrations of your sound waves are going to make this diaphragm vibrate back and forth in this magnetic field. So this coil of wire is experiencing a change in magnetic field. As it gets forced one way, it induces a current that makes it go one way. As it being pulled back out, it creates a creates a current that flows the other way. And so as this vibrates, you're essentially encoding your vibrations into alternating current signals going back and forth. That alternating current signal is sent to an amplifier that strengthens that signal and then sends it to a speaker. So a speaker is the exact same stuff. You have a diaphragm, and behind that you have a coil of wire that's in a magnetic field. But the functionality is opposite it because current is being put into these coils of wire and it experiences a force. The current goes one way, the diaphragm gets forced out. If the current goes the other way, it's forced back in. Good with that? And that vibration is what creates sound waves.
A permanent magnet, a diaphragm, just a plastic membrane. Stuck to the membrane, a copper coil. The coil is inserted into the magnet. When the current circulates through the copper coil, it creates an electromagnetic force that pushes on the coil. By changing the direction of the electric current in the coil, we change the direction of that force. So, the coil is pushed one way when the electric current circulates in one direction, and the opposite way when the current changes direction. Since the coil is attached to the diaphragm, where one goes, the other goes too. This interaction is the key to understanding how a speaker works. All of this happens in a fraction of a second, because the current changes direction very quickly, up to 26,000 back and forth times a second.
Okay, good with that. Come on back here. No, just right here. Come gather round, children. All right. What I have is lots of speakers. Okay. Um, okay. So this guy we have this speaker has donated its body to science. I know, rough. There's a secondary. There it is. Okay. So if we pull this apart, this is what you see. Pull this off. Okay. Here is the magnet. Okay. Think of a horseshoe magnet. Think of a horseshoe magnet that has the South Pole here and the North Pole here. What we're going to do is we're going to like sweep it around, kind of make a disc with a valley in the middle. Okay? That valley is that groove. In here. That's the valley. It's a really small valley. But that's where the voice coil, the red wire, finds itself. In there. Okay, so it's in a magnetic field. Where current's going through there, that's what causes it to be forced in or out. Okay? Pass that around that way. Okay? And then that accordion stuff is the spring. Okay?
No.
Okay, so I have these hooked up just straight away to the electrode. Like this is where you plug in the speaker to. This is not a special speaker for physics. This is just like a speaker.
Something you took on.
Kind of looks like a speaker to me now. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Dude, you're a
It's like a
genius.
portable stove.
Okay, so when I hook this up, turn this on to what do you anticipate is going to happen?
It's gonna bump.
It's gonna vibrate.
Nothing.
Oh, it goes up.
Oh.
It goes up really fast.
Does everybody see that? How it's going up? Okay. If I switch the direction of current,
It's gonna go the
what
opposite
do you
way.
hypothesize will happen?
Go in.
It's gonna go in.
You see that?
Yeah.
Now, check this out. If I hook this up to alternating current, well, I didn't even know those were there. Okay,
It's gonna go bump, 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 and down. Bump, 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 bump.
ready?
Mhm.
That is the sound of 60 hertz. 60 cycles per second going up and down. Okay, you can feel it.
Can I touch it?
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Let's just write that. Absolutely not.
Can you like turn it up? Or is it gonna break it?
Don't touch it.
It can't go above 6.
So
Whoa.
as I turn it up, notice the frequency doesn't change. It's just how much it vibrates. No one else wants to. This is like there's like zero pain involved in this.
Can you like turn it up so I can touch it? So how high can it go? Like up there?
We'll
Before
talk.
it
We'll
breaks.
talk. But yeah.
Yeah. I want to see it break. I'm kinda
It's
curious.
just gonna like, it's just gonna start bumping all over the table.
Okay.
It's gonna pop out.
All right. So the popular question is like, how do I make my speakers louder?
Yes.
Turn the volume up. Okay. What does that do?
More vibrations.
More current. Okay,
Same
you could like with the ones that are being passed around. I used to be able to fit this on the backside and can make it louder, increase the magnetic field. Okay, but the reality is your speakers were only designed to have a certain amount of volume. At some point, it blows the speakers or rips, like here, a speaker that's been blown is like, that's literally the the cone that's been ripped. Like it physically rips. So if you want louder speakers, just go buy louder speakers. Like,
Blew my speaker.
okay,
Mine are blown too.
does that make sense? Okay. Now, this, you know how we were saying that, um, you know how we said like microphones and speakers are like the same stuff? We got two speakers connected with speaker wire. Okay. Be real cautious with this guy. This one's kind of like limping along. Then
That's a lot of wire.
did a lot of wire. Okay. So go ahead and talk into it.
Hello.
Do it again.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay. So Pat, like do walkie talkies, and then talk in the other way. It goes both ways.
Oh, I see.
Let me I heard it. You don't see it.
Oh, I hear it.
I heard it. It's very soft.
Yep.
Hello. Gotta let him say it.
Yo. Yo.
Have you earpod in? No, touch it. No, else.
Hello, 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 hello. Okay, talking to it.
He's deaf, bro. Hello.
Do it again.
Hello.
Yeah. Hold your ear up. Hey, Aiden, can you hear this? You should turn your earbuds a little bit lower. Just throwing that out there.
No, I just
Talk.
really couldn't.
Hello. Can you hear it?
I can feel the vibrations of it. But I can't.
Oh, that's cool.
Because you drunk too much. I do have messed up hearing. He does have messed up hearing.
Do it closer.
I have gone partially, like, I couldn't hear anything for like a few minutes, multiple times. Well, I wear ear protection now.
Like, it's almost like very faint. It's very faint, like, just kind of,
You didn't like.
you know what it kind of sounds like, though? It sounds
Oh
like,
no, I don't use it.
you know, like, in the, like,
Okay, do you see why we need an amplifier? Okay? It's a pretty weak signal. I don't have an amplifier.
Hello, Charlie. No, exactly, that's what it sounds like. Oh.
It's real quiet, but it works. Here we go. I'll just. Anybody else want to? You want to hear it? You do it? Hey, 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 hey!
I guess I'm just deaf.
So if you make the wire shorter, is it louder?
Yeah, there's less resistance.
Okay, gotcha. You're just deaf.
Okay. Good with that?
Yeah.
All right. Have a seat.
I can like feel the vibrations of it.
I know
but
exactly.
hear
That's
it.
how you have
Thank you.
How does Bluetooth work?
That will be towards the end of the year,
Oh man.
but we'll get there. Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah. I've always wondered how that
That's not crazy.
It's coming.
works. I mean, I'm sure I have some
What is
like
bass?
but not very scientific.
Just low frequency.
Okay.
So first hour had a trouble with this question. I want the opposite. Sorry, not. I want similar functionality, not similar physical setup, but physical functionality. Similar, same concept. Talk to your neighbor.
I'm thinking like
Yeah, that's exactly what
so. I mean,
They speed.
which one uses microphones? Use
Correct answer is? Okay. A microphone vibrates back and forth because you're making it vibrate, creating a alternating current signal. That is the same functionality as a generator. Oh,
Generators spin.
they do. But the concept is the wire's experiencing a changing magnetic field, inducing a current. The wire experienced a change in magnetic field and created an alternating current signal. Get at that? Okay. Let's. Ooh, ooh. Let's do. Yeah. Yes.
I got a question. So I got my headphones right here. Why can't I not speak into it and have it here? 'Cause we just tried it like a second ago. Like I tried.
Yours that needs to be on, right?
Oh, is it not on?
I don't know. And
It's on and work.
That's a good question. Okay.
I can't hear it.
Yeah. That's not as that there's a lot of circuit boards in there. I think there's some one-way paths that and keep that from going the other way. Well, I got a really basic setup. Like it's just a speaker connected with a wire. All right. Yeah, let's knock this out. Okay. Come on back here. Should have just kept you back here. Okay. Hand crank generator. What? Oh yeah. Bring our virtual audience back here. Okay.
Is it live?
If you're subscribing.
So you just forgot all the.
Mr. Smiley.
Okay. Now, as we spin this, come on up here, Curtis. Spin it at a constant rate. It doesn't have to be fast. It just needs to be constant. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew the light bulb. You observe what you feel. That's a lot easier, he says. Can you even hear the difference? Okay, good job. Thank you. All right, so why? Why does that happen? It gets harder when the light bulb is screwed in.
More resistance.
It's actually less resistance because this is like super crazy resistive. It's a broken circuit. You'd have to go through the air to be able to complete the circuit.
Because the electricity is just like dissipating. It's not.
It does have something to do with electricity. Okay, so when this is in, current is flowing through the light bulb, yes, but it's also flowing through the wires that we're spinning. Does that make sense? What happens when there's current flowing through a wire in a magnetic field? Experiences a force. There's a force on the wires that we're spinning that actually are acting in the opposite direction of the way we're trying to spin it. Okay, I call it magnetic friction. Okay,
You attach that to like a battery. Did you like slowly charge your battery?
depends on the battery. And it's alternating, so no. You'd have to do some stuff to like fix the current. So here I'm fighting against, sorry. Here I'm fighting against just friction. Here I'm fighting against not only friction, but also this magnetic force that's opposing that, okay? At a junior high explanation, it's conservation of energy. You can't get something for nothing. If you produce light, you need to put some more energy in to get more energy out. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, this next part, this is fun. You get to experience how alternating current works. Okay. There'll be 3 different levels. You'll put one finger on one side, one finger on the other, on the metal screws, and you spin. Okay, this feels weird. You'll see people go, "Oh, that's weird." That is the normal reaction. Okay. Once everybody has had a chance to experience that, if they want to, we're gonna bump it up a notch. We're gonna unscrew the light bulb. There's substantial difference here. Okay. After everybody's done level 2, who wants to do level 2, we'll go to level 3 and we'll get our fingers wet. And we'll stick it across. That is a whole nother level in and of itself.
Yeah.
So, you spin your own. Okay, that was fun. All right. Yeah.
He's running. Oh yeah, it's right. Dude, this one's a longer one. Right. This is the longer one I deleted. Videos and I have to actually think about what I'm doing. I wish we would have gotten that one out of the way and done it yesterday. But I think we already read it yesterday. I think she would have just had it. It's strength right.
Yesterday's, okay, I know, I can understand it, except like if you were like,
He's like, I know, and I was trying to use like context clues. Like, yeah, that seems about right. That's like, that seems about right. That's like, with the grammar stuff, I was just like, I don't know. We don't exactly know.
No, it's like twice. Like, history teachers, like, you know, has had a French, right?
What? Oh!
Interesting.
So, I should have that.
We're not gonna get to all of these.
An electric motor spins the hard drive's disk at exactly 7,200 revolutions per minute.
Here's your computer, how memory works.
The speed constant. This is the crucial part. The actuator arms that hold the read rubber head. The ends of the arms are split. And right in the middle ride the disk platters. But the heads never actually touch the disks. The space between the head and the surface of the disk is 5,000 times thinner than a human hair. The heads float on a cushion of air created by the spinning disks. an absolutely essential cushion that prevents the head from crashing on the disc. And what a crash it would be. Talking about a crash is not only a metaphor. At these tiny scales, the weight of the heads really compares to the weight of a 747 airplane. A 747 airplane packed with 100,000 passengers, flying at 60 miles per hour, 1/100th of an inch from the ground. Ouch. There's no friction to slow things down, so the arms can move the heads to write or access data up to 60 times per second. The engine that drives the arms is invisible because it's an electromagnetic system driven by two forces of nature, electricity and magnetism, which makes the arms move back and forth across the disc at lightning speed. That's it for the components. Now here comes the data. The data is stored inside tiny concentric tracks on the disc's surface. During manufacture, up to 200,000 of these tracks are created on the disc. Each track is divided into sectors. A map of the tracks and sectors in the printed circuit board tells the heads exactly where to read or write information. The surface of the disc is smooth and shiny, but look closer. It's way more complicated. A magnetic film on the surface memorizes all the information. The heads magnetize microscopic sections of the film and store the data in a sequence of ones or zeros. Each 1 or 0 is called a bit. The value of each bit is determined by the orientation of its magnetic field, plus or minus. And it doesn't take long for the bits to add up. One high-quality photo can take up 29 million bits, spread across 12 different sectors of the disc. This sounds incredibly massive, but in reality, a stupefying quantity of bits can fit in an extremely small space. Each square centimeter of the disk's surface holds 31 billion bits. Now that's space-saving.
Where do you do tomorrow?
A hard disk stores and recovers a phenomenal amount of information at speeds that defy comprehension. Using the power of magnetism, the shiny surface of a hard disk can store the contents of several sets of encyclopedias, or hundreds of thousands of images. Easy. The hard disk really is an amazing, shrinking machine, squeezing mountains of data into little bites with a single keystroke. This masterpiece of engineering has really stretched the boundaries of physics, bit by bit. Coming up!
Do what you just.
I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
She's my walking buddy.
So nice of you.
Right? See, I'm a nice friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Exactly. Have a good day tonight.
You too. All right, Lala.
Fun day, huh?
Yeah, just too much. Not enough time.
I actually did not know that. Speakers and stuff. I'm learning.
Yeah.
You did your job.
Good stuff.
Learn something.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, that's. Mhm.
I did know about the hard drive though, because like for a while there I wanted to be an electrical engineer.
Okay. Yeah.
Pan out. I used to just build computers for fun.
Okay.
That's the thing I used to do.
Yeah.
My hobby.
Yeah.
Right. I was a cool kid for that.
Yeah, you were.
So yeah, I just got paid. My friends would be like, "Hey, can you build something for me?" Sure, gotcha.
It's cool. Lots of applications.
Yeah. So I had different hard drives all the time. More often than not, though, it was SSDs. Just little, not like big drives that you'd have to like manually plug in. It would just be like a little stick.
Uh-huh.
It looked like a thin USB stick that you just put in, screw, that's it. Like, very easy. But yeah, that's it.
Interesting.
So anything cool happened over this past week for class? Anything cool? It was a cool subject to talk about, at least my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I do very little math concepts because, the math, unless you know calculus,
Yeah.
you're just coming up with special cases. It's like, there's no thinking. It's just like, oh, use this equation here.
Yeah.
Use this equation here.
So it's like one of those things where like if you were to make math that would be applicable to this level, if you like assume this, it'd be like that. Yeah.
Well, it's really just because you're using Ampere's law, but it's just like, okay, for a solenoid, use this equation. For a loop of wire, use this equation. For a straight wire. It does.
Okay, well, I'll take this one.
Okay. Oh, let's see.
Oh, Mr. Smiley.
Killian.
Yeah, it just makes my day walking in here every day.
Does it? Oh yeah, you're still recording.
What?
You got your melon on there.
Were you actually still recording?